Hey everyone, welcome to another MLM train wreck. Today we're back for another Beachbody, aka body training. And I've covered this lady before. She was very boring, to put it lightly. But I've been sent another one of her trainings and apparently it's a little bit more interesting. But yeah, we're gonna see about that. Before we go into it, don't forget to click that like and subscribe button. As always, big shout out to all of my channel members. I really do appreciate you guys and all of your support. And yeah, let's just put a little disclaimer in here and let's get into this video. This is an outdoorsy training. It's only 22 minutes. Only 22 minutes with this woman is very short. So let's take a watch.
Hello, TFF and Team Resilient Spirit. It is Trina Gray, founder of Team Rockstar Fit, and I am coming to you outside in my backyard today because I wanted to talk to you about vision. And no better way to talk to you about vision than to get out of my office, away from my desk, and take you outside to my home and talk to you a little bit about this journey and some of the ups and the downs, some of the lessons I've learned along the way. First of all,
I think this was just a big flex to be like, look, I have a house on the lake, guys. Your vision, look how rich and successful I am. You can be this as well. You can have a house next to a body of water as well and be successful like I am. But the Beachbody, Body, I just can't get used to Body. Body's income disclosure statement is going to be down below in the description box, so you can take a look at how many people actually get to the point where they earn any kind of money. Spoiler alert, it's not a lot of people.
So proud of you for qualifying for this diamond event. It's a really big deal. It's a really big deal to give yourself an advancement in your business, to qualify for an exclusive event. And hats off to Lauren and Mel for being the kind of leaders who offer an opportunity like this. They are role modeling really great leadership for you ladies. So if you don't know my story, I'll give you little snippets and pieces, a shorter version of it. My name is Trina Gray, and I founded this Beachbody team about 11 years ago. Now, I signed up 13 years ago, but our sign up date isn't always really our actual start date. And if you get it, you get it. I signed up because my good friend Janelle simply asked me to. We were fellow group fitness instructors in a small town in northern Michigan called Alpena, Michigan. We met through group fitness. She signed up as a Beachbody coach. She called me one day and said, hey, there's this company called Beachbody. You know their fitness programs like Turbo Kick and Pio, which we taught at the club that we worked at. Well, they're opening their doors, she said, to people like you and me. People who like fitness, are willing to help other people, and want to make some money doing it. And I was washing the dishes on the phone with her. And I said, hey, that sounds great. That was it. She said, do you want to do this with me? And I said, yes, that sounds great.
And of course, that was when Beachbody was turning into an MLM model, because it wasn't that from the beginning. So what does that tell us? These ladies joined early enough. That's why they're successful now. That's all that is. It's literally what we've been repeating over and over again. Not just me, other anti-MLM creators as well. It's like, if you want to be successful in an MLM, your only chances are if you join early enough, or if you have a big following, which you can recruit into your team if you're joining at a later stage. Only two ways that you have a chance of succeeding in an MLM. So this lady joined early enough.
No big discussion needed. No big webinar, no big explanation. I'm certainly not saying that those things don't work or aren't valuable to grow a business, but I don't want you to forget the basic fundamental truth of simply asking someone that you respect and you like to do this with you. Janelle didn't overthink it because she didn't even know how to overthink it way back then. It was a simple phone call. It was, hey, this company is opening its doors. I thought of you. You like fitness. Would you like to do this with me? It was that easy, my friends. Back then, it was actually a little bit more complicated to get signed up. You had to use a fax machine. I didn't have a fax machine at home, but she emailed me an application. I had to print it out and fill it in. I had to go into town and fax in my application. So you know what I did after that? I printed out 10 applications and I went to a bunch of my friends in town. And I said, hey, you like fitness, you go to group fitness classes, you teach classes, You're a stay-at-home mom, maybe looking for something fun to do. And I just gave out applications. I gave out 10 applications and I gave them a personal invite and I told them why I thought they'd be good at it. And about 2 weeks later, I had about 6 coaches signed up. And a couple weeks after that, I had 8 coaches signed up. And then not long after that, I was diamond. I hit the ground running initially, and I don't tell this story.
You hit the ground running at the best time. At the time when it was only becoming an MLM. It was very new to everyone. Everyone was doing Beachbody anyways as well because it was really popular back then. You hit the ground at the best possible time. That's why you're successful now. And it doesn't happen for most of the people that join your team, especially now at a later date. So
very often because I didn't have any fear of inviting. I really thought that partnering with a fitness company, getting paid to get people on workout programs, the couples that I knew Pio, I knew Turbo, I'd heard of P90X. The company had a good reputation. It wasn't expensive to join. It cost $40 to join. We had lots of great fitness programs we had access to as a coach.
Yeah, I was doing that as well. I was doing P90X and P90, I think. I was doing Beachbody Insanity, Asylum, T30 or Max 30 or whatever. I did all of Shanti's old programs. And I also even did Turbo. But I didn't really like that. It's more kind of like a Pilates type of thing, which I didn't find that it was my style of training. But I did all of those and I got injured a lot. I blame my bad knees for Beachbody and doing Beachbody with incorrect form and all the advanced movements and jumps and stuff that they had. And I didn't have proper form. I didn't have anyone to show me the proper form. But what did I know? I was just a school kid, you know? I was a high school kid wanting to lose weight, even though I was already very skinny, but let's not go into all of that now.
Didn't seem any downside. I was busier than heck running a business with 2 little kids, but I didn't see this as a burden. I saw this as an opportunity. That's how I started. I got to diamond really quickly because I didn't overthink it. I knew the business was built on a team, on going someplace with other people. I knew the business was not just built on retail. Now, I knew that from the very beginning. Why? Because I took the time to look at the comp plan and to talk to my coach about it. And it was really clear that I help people get healthy and fit, but I work with friends and help them do the same thing. And as a team, we go so much farther. I'd always been in team sports. I bet many of you have too. I knew that if I were going to play a basketball game, I don't want to be the only one out there trying to play defense. I don't want to be the only one out there trying to score. I will play defense and I will score, but I need other people out there with me. It just seemed like such a basic concept that the team approach just really, really fit me. So I invited a lot. Well, what happened after that? Because I was on such a good roll. I actually won a huge prize from my sponsor. I really very rarely share this story, but she put out there that I could win a whole entire set of selectorized weights or a TV. She said the first person on my team to get to diamond. And so I was the first. I just went and did it. I didn't overthink it. She said, I need 8 people and a couple of them need a couple people. And I just went. That was it.
Okay, so you mass recruited, right? You didn't overthink it. You were just recruiting like crazy and getting people into your team. So you know what they say, if most money comes from recruitment, it's a pyramid scheme. But yeah, this sounds a lot like it, in my opinion. Let me know down below what you think about it, if you agree or disagree.
Didn't overthink it because I didn't know that you needed to. Didn't focus on tons of rules and prices and all this packages and stuff because I just signed up people for $40 as a coach and helped them get on a product. That was it. So what happens after this? Well, life gets in the way, my friends. And I know that that's where you've been, I bet. Life got in the way. I got real busy. I started to have fears. They started building. What will people think about me being in network marketing? What happens when my sister, my sister-in-law, and one of my best friends from high school all quit that first diamond team in the same couple of weeks? Well, then you start to get your spirit crushed. And then you start to live in fear. And you start to think everyone's judging you. And you start to think that maybe you shouldn't be doing this. And then I just decided that I was too busy as a mom of little kids. I already had a business. I was already working full time. Maybe I didn't have room for this. And over the course of, I don't know, maybe 18 months, I really wavered. If you don't know my story, I went to Summit the following summer. So this is the first full year of me being a coach. I went to Summit by myself. I flew from small town Alpena, Michigan to LA, and I lasted 1 day. 1 day. I flew home on a one-way ticket from LA. I didn't feel like I fit in. I went to a party that was meant to be like a VIP party, and I didn't have on the right outfit, and I didn't know what the roped off areas meant. And I felt like a fish out of water in all seriousness, and it wasn't for me. I went to the super workout the next morning, which these days of my life, I think it's amazing and fun that thousands of people want to meet up for a workout. But I got there the next morning and people were clamoring on top of each other and pushing to try to get close to the stage. And I was like, I thought we were just here to work out. These are, in my opinion, I didn't feel like the fitness trainers.
I've actually seen some of the videos from that, and I've seen like people trying to get as close to the stage as they can just to be close to Shanti and other super trainers. That was very crazy. That was a while ago, like years ago. I've seen some clips of the videos of people like working out, but you're just working out and hitting each other because they're so close to each other. Very, very strange. In my opinion. Obviously, I'm an introvert, I'm shy, I'm socially anxious as well, so to me that sounds terrible and that looked terrible to me. But yeah, I know not a lot of people would think the same.
Were celebrities. I felt like they were fitness trainers leading a workout, and I felt like, what is everybody doing? Is there someone famous up there that I'm missing? So I wasn't enmeshed in the world of Beachbody yet, and I didn't get that people really get connected to the trainers and fall in love with the programs. And I was just someone in the fitness industry that thought I was going to take a class. So anyway, those are all my hangups. I hope they're not yours. I went back to my hotel. I packed up my bags. I took a cab to the airport, no Ubers then. And I bought a one-way ticket back to Alpena, Michigan for over $500. And I didn't have that money. I didn't have that money. That wasn't an easy spend, but I knew I didn't want to be there anymore. I flew home and I wasn't on a good track, right? I flew home from Summit. I'm wavering. People had quit my team. I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing. I had fears. And if you haven't heard this piece, I just got to share this piece because if hearing my failures makes you feel more heard or seen or normal, I'm happy to pass them on to you. So sometime after that, I was not logging into my Coach Online office. Let's put it that way. I didn't know where my checks were going. I wasn't paying attention. I was the most checked out coach on the planet. Well, at the time, I didn't know where my checks are going, and I went 6 months without having a Beachbody check deposited in my account because I hadn't bothered to look that they had changed everything over to automatic, and I hadn't put in my routing and bank number. So they were just holding my checks. They weren't mailing them anymore. They went to you had to opt in to get them mailed, and I hadn't done that. So 6 months later, I realized this. I go to log into my account. I can't get in. I don't know my password. I have to contact Beachbody to reset my password. And I get into my account and I realize I had actually accrued over $1,000 in retail sales and team cycle bonuses. And I was at least an emerald at that time, pretty close to diamond, maybe in and out of diamond. And I was making money. I just didn't know it. And it didn't matter to me. And I was completely checked out. So those are a couple aha moments in my life. I decided I either have to get in or get out. So in my effort to decide, I went to a very small gathering of a Super Saturday, really very close to what you guys are doing with Mel and Lauren now. There was just a handful of us, less than a dozen of us, at my sponsor Janelle's house in Toledo. And we're really just eating casually, sitting on the floor. She had a few few presenters just talking to us about their journey. And one of the presenters was a woman by the name of Mindy Wender. Mindy Wender is a mom who lives in an even smaller town than I do, if you can imagine, way up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And she got up there just super casual, super nice, super kind, said, "Hey, I'm a mom who wasn't fit. And I met Janelle on Twitter. And she told me I could get paid to get fit and help other women. And I might even be able to take my family on a trip to Disney." That was her story. And that's what she wanted to do. She was working a minimum wage job at a hardware store. And she had a little boy and a lot of bills. And she thought, if I can use some fitness programs and get in shape for myself, and I can take my son to Disney someday as a mom in a low income job, I'm in. Mindy Wender ended up, as some of you may know, if you followed her journey over the years, that she's a superstar diamond coach, was one of the top earners in the company. She's gone on to have 2 more kids. So she's got 3 kids. She lives an amazing life. She has a beautiful home up in the Upper Peninsula. It all started with a Twitter message about earning some extra money in fitness, maybe taking a trip.
Okay, this is kind of bothering me just because she said, oh, she lives an amazing life because she is so rich, basically. Okay, maybe she mentioned having kids as well, but to me, it just sounds like this whole thing is like, look how rich and successful we are. You can do this too, and you can live this amazing, rich and successful life. But just because you may be rich doesn't mean that you have an amazing life, you know? Being rich doesn't really solve all of your life's problems. You know, I get it's easier to get by if you're rich and if you have money and influence. But still, like, if you don't have your health, or if you don't have your family, or if your relationship is going through a hard time, there's only so much money can do. So just because someone is rich, it doesn't mean that they live this amazing life. It seems very materialistic to me. It seems just very focused, like, oh, look how rich and successful we are, and this is all amazing, everything is great, and you can have this as well. But I'm just trying to say it's not all in the money, but maybe that's just me.
Trip to Disney. That spoke to me. I saw Mindy at the beginning of her journey. I saw the gleam in her eyes. I saw how excited she was about the fact that she was getting fit from home, and that she was just helping some other people get fit from home, and she was making money. And she talked about the bills she was paying down. She talked about the travel account she was setting up. And just the beginning of her story is what inspired me. We always think that we need to be inspired by the person who's already arrived. I'm not here to be the person to inspire you. I'm here to tell you, you are the person to go inspire people. Your story, the beginning of your story, the middle of your story, you on the journey is what's inspiring. That's what lit me up. The beginning of Mindy's journey. I left that Super Saturday. I went home and I decided I'm in. I'm doing this. Why not me? Was really the words I was saying to myself. Why not me? And I started plugging in. So what did I do? I started plugging into team calls. My upline, Christine Dwyer, ran a Thursday night call at 10 p.m. Eastern. I had 2 little kids and a full-time job, and I did not see myself doing a call from 10 to 10:30 at night, but I did. I got on from the couch in our front room and I would listen in. And one week on a Thursday night call, she read bonus amounts for if you hit 2-star, 5-star, 10-star, 15-star. Now, I was aware in the compensation plan that there were bonuses, but I had never heard what they were. And sometimes it's just the right person at the right time sharing it. And so Christine read those. And the really, really high ones just kind of freaked me out and thought, nah, I'm not that person. I can't work that hard. I've got 2 kids. I got a job. I don't see myself being at the top. That wasn't really on my radar in any way. But 2-star and 5-star sounded very much possible. If I loved this enough, could I help 2 friends in my life love this? If I helped this enough and I stayed with it, could I help 5 friends in my life do this? And I did. Christine read that bonus amount. It was around $5,000 for 5-star, and it was around $800 or $1,000 for 2-star. And I knew that that would help me upgrade my vehicle. And I knew if I got a couple of those, that I could take a trip to Maui, which I'd always wanted to do. Both of those things happened. I got myself to 5-star, got to 2-star. I pretty quickly got to 5-star because once you have the fire, you just keep it going. Once you have the fire, you just keep it going. If I know how to create 1 diamond and I can support 1 woman, I can support 5. Right? So got myself to 5-star, got those bonuses.
I want to say, like, once people see money coming in, they don't care what they're doing. Not all of them, but a lot of them don't care that they're financially scamming other people, as long as they're seeing benefits off of that. That's sad, and I'm not saying that this is all of the people in MLMs, even though it's hard to believe that someone is at the top for years and years and years and decades without realizing the pattern of people below them not earning any money and just blaming those people why they're not earning any money. Also, also being in something for decades and not seeing the income disclosure statement seems very not a big possibility of that happening either. So I find it hard to believe that this lady is not aware of what she's doing now. That's my opinion. However, maybe in the beginning she actually believed that she was helping these people get fit and whatever, healthy. And even though you want to help someone, and if you're in your own on your own fitness journey, health journey, please keep in mind that you are most likely not an expert. You're most likely not a personal trainer, and just because something works for you, it doesn't mean that it's going to work for other people as well. We're all different, we're all individual, and something that works for you is not going to work for someone else. So let's just try to keep that in mind. Going up on social media and giving all this health and fitness advice without any certification or expertise in the area, and nutritional advice as well, it's very dangerous for those people. So you may think that you're helping them, but you're really not. You're endangering them with your unprofessional advice. So even if she believed that she was helping these people, it's just baffling to me that you can be like, oh, I'm helping these people, but like, I mean, you're not a nutritionist and you're not a dietitian, you're not a fitness coach. Like, how are you helping them without any expertise? Go and finish school or college, get a degree in what you want to do, and then, only then, try to help people. Excuse my chair.
And I remember trading in an old Blazer. It had cloth seats, the air conditioning didn't work. It wasn't unsafe in any way, but my kids deserve better. I deserve better. Traded my car in and I got a Durango. Wasn't a new Durango, but it was a lease and it only had 20,000 miles on it. It had leather seats and it was so fancy to me. I loved it. And those early wins are what I hold on to. I was able to take my family, including some extended family, on this trip to Maui with us because I just saved and saved and saved. My friends, that those early wins, those early dreams, those early visions have propelled me over the last 10 years or more to just stay with it. So that's a lot of my story. Those are a whole bunch of lessons mixed in there. And I'll tell you kind of where I've arrived or where I've gotten to now and where that dream came from. I know that you're in probably outside of Madison right now at this event, so you can appreciate this as natives that you are. I grew up in a small town called Windsor, Lake Windsor, teeny tiny. It was the road that I grew up on was set in between a whole bunch of cornfields, which I know now are a lot of buildings, but those cornfields are actually still there. A whole bunch of cornfields behind me, and then across the street was a Lake Windsor golf course. Right. So I used to take my bike and bike to the Lake Windsor golf course and worked in their snack shop for a couple summers. I was on a 10 speed. And so I was like, there was cornfields and there was a golf course. And I never grew up around water, near water. I know that in Madison, there's Lake Monona and Lake Mendota. I didn't grow up there in any way. I had an uncle. I had an uncle who lived in Lake Monona in a beautiful, beautiful home. But my dad and my uncle weren't all that close. We really only saw him on the occasional holiday, usually Easter, where it's too cold to be out on the boat. I remember one Easter being at his house and looking down the bluffs and looking at the lake and seeing his dock and hoist down there and thinking, someday I want to have a boat. Someday I want to live on a lake. He was an entrepreneur who owned a business. And I thought, I just want that. He always talked about traveling to Florida, going to, he used to go to St. Lucia, he used to go to St. Thomas, he used to go to all these exotic places. I only heard about him on occasional Christmas and Easter dinners, but I just liked that that guy had adventure and had just a lifestyle that seemed so far from my lifestyle out in the cornfields and on the golf course. And I had a great upbringing and I had a great life. And I'm not discounting that at all, but I knew at an early age that maybe I just wanted something different. So I moved to Michigan about 20 years ago, actually. Didn't live on the lake by any means, but about 3 years into my coaching journey, I got a small cottage on the lake. And it was my dream. And it was a teeny tiny little cottage. I rented it, by the way. I didn't buy this thing. I rented it and I got a taste of what life would be like. It was a tiny little rental. It looked more like a shack. It looked more like the garage next to a nice home, but it was golden to me. It was golden to my family. It was golden to my kids. I loved it. I felt in my element there. I felt happy there. I felt disconnected there. And I knew I was on the right path. So I made a goal to get a cottage on the lake. And 2 years later, we bought an actual real 2-story cottage, big deck cottage on the lake. And about 2 or 3 years after that, we bought a home on the lake. And that's been my journey. And this is Friday evening that I'm filming this for you, about 6 o'clock at night over here, 6:45 at night. I wondered why I was getting hungry. And I just went over to the marina, got my pontoon boat, put it in the water before the Zoom, because I wanted to have it here for you. And I wanted you to see that that was my dream. Pontoon boat on the lake, paddle boards, my kids, my family, working hard, but enjoying a dream. This is all possible because I said yes to Team Beachbody. I said yes to myself, and I said yes to my future.
But you said yes at the very best time, aka the beginning of Beachbody as a multi-level marketing company. So just because it happened to you, because you were there at the best possible time to start, it doesn't happen for most of the people in Beachbody. Look at the income disclosure statement. It's right there. I find it very hard to believe that she is not aware that a lot of the people that join Beachbody are just doomed. I mean, body are just doomed to fail. I find it very hard to believe after 13 years of being in Beachbody. Body, I find it very hard to believe that she actually thinks that anyone who joins Beachbody at this point, oh my god, Body at this point can be as successful as her. So this is just wiggling your wealth and success to all the other people that are at the bottom, that are working hard but not getting anywhere, but you're still motivating them by showing them your big beautiful background. Obviously she's got a lake in her backyard, which is just insane. I can only dream of that as well, but you know, a lot of the people that have the same dream are just never gonna get there, at least not with the Beachbody business, because it's oversaturated and the business model is set up for those people to fail. You were just lucky because you joined early enough. That's why you're successful.
As you know, Beachbody doesn't guarantee any financial success. It's really up to your own skill and diligence. But have you seen the earnings reports that came out recently? Do you know what's possible to earn as a coach? And I will finish with some of this. They just came out with this. I want you to know that the average earnings of a diamond coach, the average earnings of a diamond coach is $18,000. That's you simply deciding that I'm going to invite some friends and family to do this with me, to get in shape and pay to help other people. Now, some of those might be preferred customers and some of those might be coaches. The more coaches, the better, because coaches can produce volume. Coaches can add to the team. So when in doubt, you might start somebody as a preferred customer to get them in your community, but when in doubt, build with coaches. Okay. $18,000 is the average income of a diamond, the high income of a diamond. So this would be a diamond with a lot of growth in their downline, a lot of activity in their downline. The high income for a diamond is $161,000. Okay. So in my opinion, this is a diamond who has grown a lot of people in their downline, but is more an unusual situation to earn that much at that rank. Star diamond is where things open up.
Okay, let's go over the income disclosure statement since she decided to go into the insane income claims. So I've pulled up the income disclosure statement, and do you know how many percent of all distributors, all Beachbody coaches are on the diamond level? Only 2.3% of all Beachbody coaches, 2.3%. on average earn $18,000. But also averages can be very misleading. We all know that. And now she's gonna go into Star Diamond, which is 1.3% of all Beachbody coaches. Meanwhile, we've got 75.5% of people at the bottom level, which earn $491 annually. So of course, and why didn't she's not gonna mention the lowest rank. She's just gonna mention the top 3% that are earning an okay money. But even if you're earning $18,000, that's below the minimum wage. $18,000 a year is not going to bring you need another paycheck from your partner possibly or something, because that paycheck, especially if you're a parent, you have kids, we're in the inflation, we're recovering from the pandemic, life has gotten really, really expensive everywhere. So 18,000 is below average, at least in Ireland. I don't know what's the average in wherever you're watching from, but this is a lot below the average average. Our minimum wages went up in 2023 as well, just because life has become just so expensive. Of course, she's not going to mention the lowest bottom where most of the distributors sit at, coaches sit at, because it's not even $500 per year for all the work and effort, and it's not up to your due diligence or your hard work. It's just that the business model is set up for you to fail. Let's try to see how many Beachbody coaches are there. Over 400,000 Beachbody or body coaches. And 75.5% of those 400,000 plus earn barely 500, probably not even $500 per year with this magnificent biz that's going to make you so successful and so rich, and it's such a great opportunity. So tell me, why are you not mentioning the lowest rank then? And why is so many people, so many coaches are not able to earn more than $500 per year with this amazing opportunity? But of course, she's not going to get into all of that.
You have passed on some skills, some leadership, some passion, some light to other people. The average earnings of a star diamond is $120,000. Now that star diamond includes 1 star diamond all the way to 15 star diamonds. So the high end of that is $2.8 million. The highest earning coaches in Team Beachbody are earning $2.8 million a year, with the average star diamond earning 119.
Okay, but why don't you even at least say how many people are actually star diamonds? 1.3% of all the distributors? Of 500,000 distributors? Seriously? She's presenting this as if, look at me, I'm giving you all the information, but she is clearly avoiding to give you all the important information, where most people don't make any profit and most people never get to be a star diamond or diamond coach because the business is set up for them to fail. But of course, she's not going to tell you those details. She knows what she's doing, in my opinion.
120. Now, none of those numbers are anything to shake a stick at. That's like an old phrase of my dad's. All those numbers are game changing. Whether you're talking about 6 figures or 7 figures or multiple 7 figures, come on. Those are legitimate numbers. Those are legitimate numbers. That doesn't mean you toiling away in a 9-to-5 job, hoping for a 3% raise for the next 50 years. That is you saying, I have a dream for my life. Whether it's you want to go to Disney, or you want to have a cottage, or you want to pay off debt, or you want to set up savings, or you want to take great family vacations, or you want a new car, or whatever it is that lights you up, can you figure it out? Figure out what lights you up and go create it. No one told me that I should desire a house on the lake. I didn't grow up on the lake. I told you my only sliver of experience on the lake was seeing an uncle. Right? But I just knew that it seemed calm and happy and peaceful, and that I liked this idea for myself. Whatever that is for you, you got to have some kind of dream that's going to make you do this work. And if I could offer you some advice in this business, please encourage people to be a coach like you are. Maybe they need to get started on their own fitness journey first as a customer. Maybe they need to get their toes in the water and experience your community as a preferred customer, but come on. We know that people get longer term results, the ability to help others, the ability to earn income for the same exact fee. The only difference is you believing in them and they believing in them believing in them, whatever that English is supposed to be, right? My friends, that's what I have for you today. I hope I didn't go into too much overtime. Lauren and Mel, I have vision. I'm passing my vision onto you. The early wins are what's going to give you momentum. The business is not easy, but you've done much, much harder things in life. Being in a relationship, going to college, having kids. Are you kidding me? That's so much more complicated than running a fitness business. But the fitness business can make the rest of your life better. You can remove the worry of finances. You can take great vacations. You can live where you want. Dive into this business. Add to your community with as many coaches as possible. I know that's what got me off to a good start in this business, and that's what I've always stuck with, is growing a team. I wish you the best. I hope you have a great weekend. I hope this audio turned out, and I'm so disappointed if it doesn't. Message me and tell me what you learned from me or how you're feeling right now. And I wish you ladies all the best.
Well, that was a lot less boring than the very first training that we've seen from this person, but I think I said everything along the way. It's just shocking to me. Well, not shocking, it's pissing me off with the fact that she purposely did not mention any of the lowest ranks. She did not mention the percentages of people who are actually earning a big chunk of money. She purposely left out that information, in my opinion. She's very disingenuous, and this was just a bunch of BS. And the fact that she went out into her backyard just so that people can see, oh my god, look, this lady has a mansion on the lake. And I can do it too. I just have to have a fitness business. It's not a fitness business. You're an independent contractor for Bodi or Beachbody. You're not your own boss. It's not your own fitness business, and you have no credentials to be giving out people on social media or anywhere else any kind of nutritional or workout fitness advice, because most of the coaches are not experts, they're not personal trainers, so it's just a waste of your time. So they're never gonna get where she did. She said it all in the beginning. She joined at the very early days of Beachbody being an MLM, and that's why she's where she is today. But yeah, that's my own opinion. You let me know down below what you think about this, and please leave your commentary on anything. If I left anything out, please let me know down below. Thank you all so much for watching, especially if you made it this far. You're a true trooper, and I appreciate you. Don't forget to click that like and subscribe button if you'd like to support my channel, and big thank you, big shout out to all of my channel members as well. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.